This is Jackie Lyon, and this is the Lyon Legacy Health Hour. 18 years ago, Lou and I started this company. We noticed so many God-fearing, wonderful Christian people that were unhealthily, weak, and sick. In the service of God, every person has their unique area of service, and we feel God called us to be focused on health care. Our products are effective that you probably can't get anyplace else. Over the 18 years, we have had testimony after testimony of people telling us the magnets helped them when nothing else would. The Lyon Legacy Health Hour is to communicate to you the message of health via properly designed therapeutic magnets and Chinese formulated food supplements. Call us for a free catalog at 800-778-5731. We'll give the number again in about 10 minutes. Lou did the show for many years, and we have an archive of amazing callers. So, here is Lou and his callers.
I get several calls a week. I mean, probably 10 to 15, maybe 20 a day. And these are people that are using our magnetic therapy, that are having great results with it, that have been relieved of pain that they've suffered with for years, that have seen warts go away, have seen all kinds of improvements in their health, prostate problems relieved, eyesight restored from macular degeneration. And this is not something we should be keeping secret. It's something that the whole world needs to know about. And you know what? It's a shame because a lot of the rest of the world is way ahead of us. They've been using magnetic therapy for many, many years. With all the things that are going on that I hear on the shortwave set about all these doomsday prophecies and people getting prepared for good heavens only knows what. This is the time, if you're going to be find yourself without doctors to call, without hospitals to go to, without medication to buy, that you better be looking into alternative medicine very seriously. It would be a shame not to have any help at all and not be able to get a hold of a doctor or a hospital or anybody else to help you. Good evening, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. I was wondering about the prostate treatment with the magnet. Could you tell me how that would work?
Well, we have a magnet we call the Brick. That's a nickname, by the way. It's 4 inches by 6 inches by 1 inch thick.
Uh-huh.
And you place it right under your seat and sit on it.
Okay, while I'm driving or whatever, huh?
While you're driving, while you're sitting at home watching television, any time that you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pilot down in Spring Hill, Florida, that was where? Palm Beach, Florida, pardon me, and he flies for Continental Airlines. And he was diagnosed in his physical with a severe prostate problem. Okay, mm-hmm. His wife sent immediately for one of our bricks, and he sat on it for 3 weeks and then went back for the second physical because they were telling him they probably were going to have to operate and all these horror stories. And when they examined him at the end of 3 weeks, the prostate was down to normal.
Well, that sounds good.
Now, this guy's career was on the line, I want you to know.
Now, does that have to be right? Can there be your... what would cushion that, or how would you cushion it?
Well, what I do is I put a cushion on a chair, which is a soft chair anyway, like an office chair.
Uh-huh.
And then I put a cushion on that and put the magnet on top and then ease onto it. But I don't put it clear under my seat. Just far enough back so that I know that it's hitting the prostate.
Right, okay. Well, I would think that would be worth a try, you know.
Yes, sir, it certainly is, because we have dozens and dozens of people that'll testify that it's helped them.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now, while you're sleeping, would it be all right to lay that next to your body, or that wouldn't be close enough to the prostate?
Well, a lot of people put it right down close to their genitals right on their belly, and they wear it with a pack, or what we call a fanny pack or a pouch, and they have it on there all night. You bet. The more you do, the better you are.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Okay, and you say call back at...
Great.
All right, sir, and I thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Bye.
As I've said many times, there's a lot of people out there that are suffering needlessly that can be helped with magnetic therapy. And all they have to do is pick up their phone, call us at 800-778-5731, and we will try to give them straight information on how they can be helped. We are experiencing sickness across this country like nobody's ever seen in its history. And I have a very strong opinion that it is all coming from vaccines. I just heard an announcement on the air tonight on my way into the studio. And it was about a pneumonia vaccine that they want every elderly person in the United States to take. Well, I'll tell you what. When they start at you with that needle, run like the dickens, because it's probably as polluted as every other vaccine that's coming out of these drug companies. And I wouldn't let them put it in my arm on a $1,000 a minute bet. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hey, Lou.
Yeah.
This is Bill in Mississippi. I got a question.
Yes, Bill.
I've got your, what you call the acupuncture magnetic insoles.
Uh-huh.
And the bone spur I got them for is on my left foot.
Uh-huh.
And it's to the front and to the right side. In other words, to the inside, toward the front on my foot. And the magnet part, the big center magnet, is probably 1.5 inches, approximately that far away from that little magnet.
Uh-huh.
And I've had the soles probably 5 weeks now, and there's a little bit of improvement, but not like probably I think it ought to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bill, it probably isn't, because it's a little bit too far away from that magnet.
All right, what would you recommend?
I'll tell you what I would do. I would get one of our round, I think they're 3-inch flexible magnets, and I would figure a way to glue it into that insole or right on top of it so that the North Pole's up toward that spot and right on that bone spur. They're very thin, they're not heavy, and it's pretty strong, so I'm sure it would do the job.
3-inch round.
Yep.
Well, I'll wait till after 7 and I'll place an order.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
for
friend.
calling. You bet.
I bet it. Bye.
Good evening, you're on the air.
Lou, I've got some questions I'd like to ask you. Start off with, I've got one of your bricks, and I'm just learning about this magnetic stuff. But anyway, I've been going to a chiropractor for some pain in my leg or in my knee, and this is before I got your brick, about a week or two before. But anyway, it finally got so bad that I got down and asked my wife to get me up out of the basement. I had to get a shot of cortisone. And he said it was the beginning of arthritis.
The beginning, huh?
The beginning. So okay. But anyway, I did take my magnetic to the chiropractor back to him. He was into that too. And he has a little light that he checks there, and he also sells them. But he will put that light on that magnet, and it will come on. And now, like he put the magnet on one side of his leg, and the light on the other side of his leg, and then the light will come on, like the magnet, verify that the magnet's coming through. And also, he would put he had this little film-like thing, like a magnifying glass but it was clear, that you put on top of it, and it would light up, and it would have like chicken wire. The lines in it would be shaped like that.
Yeah, that sounds like the Hall theory.
Okay, and then he showed me one that was a different kind, and the line just went vertical across. He said there was no good.
No.
Okay, now I took the brick to him, and now on the south side, the light would shine when he's waiting on my leg. It would light up. And on the other side, it would flicker. Now, am I using the right side or the?
You use the North Pole side.
I'm using the North Pole side.
Right.
And that is the one with the light gray color on
Right, it certainly is.
Okay. Now, this cortisone stuff, is that pretty dangerous?
Yes, it is.
I have never had a shot of it before, but I couldn't walk it. I had to do something.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm a barber, and I was out 5 days.
uh-huh.
So, but I'm walking now, but it's sore as the dickens.
Well, now, how often or how much are you keeping that magnet on your leg?
I've got the brick, and I'm keeping it on. I haven't put it on but maybe twice this week.
Yeah,
Because I just got back to work this week.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it more often than that.
Okay.
Is there a way you can rig that thing at night with an ace bandage?
I could put a what you call it, you wrap around that you could put that on.
I'd put it right on the back of the knee.
The back of the knee bend?
Back of the knee, right, or right over that knee bend, and bind it on there so you sleep with it on there at night.
Now, how long would you just recommend any time and all time?
Anytime you can, yes.
Okay, now what about this leg wrap that you have? Would you recommend that for that?
Well, the leg wrap has been real successful, especially with high-powered inserts with something like that, because it surrounds the whole knee above and below it, and around the knee with magnetic power. And the next thing is when you put the high-powered inserts in there, you boost the power. And the brick is great for a lot of things, but it's hard to use on a knee.
Yeah. Well, I do know the first night that I got it, I put it under my back, which is next to my spine, at the very end of my spine, and I slept all night without even knowing what was going on until I woke up. But I have, like I say, can't wear this thing all the time like that, so I'm gonna have to get something else that I need to wear to work. Is that right?
That's what I would do. I would say get a knee tube, okay, and order a set of those high-powered inserts. And you slip them in there when you put it on, one on each side of the knee, one behind it, and one in front of it.
Okay, and then would you recommend the shoe soles too?
Oh yes. You bet. If you're on your feet as much as most barbers are, you need those real bad.
Well, just 8 hours solid. I think I'll try some of those insoles and also that tube and try this brick. I think I'll tie it on and start tying it on tonight.
All right, do that.
All right. I'll talk to you later then.
Okay, thanks for calling. You bet. Using medical magnets is not just a therapy, but it is a life enhancer. They can make you feel better. Medical magnets act as little energy sources that send out force fields that penetrate the body, that actually increase energy. Why? Because the energy given off is the same energy as what the body manufactures itself. When it comes to increased energy, if you are an athlete or an entrepreneur that is starting a new business or anything, medical magnets can give you a completely competitive edge. Notice I didn't make a claim for you guys from the FDA. I said it can, just like the Tylenol commercial on television that structures the sentence in the same way. Increased energy gives you the competitive edge. Take 2 racehorses who are almost equal in every way. Take 2 boxers who are almost equal in every way. Take 2 weightlifters who are almost equal in every way. Put one on a Lyon gold and silver magnetic mattress pad, and this person will demonstrate that the extra boost from the magnetic mattress pad can make him a winner. I've seen several instances where this has happened. Take apart a flashlight. Notice that the positive terminal of that battery is supposed to touch the base of the light bulb. When it touches, the light lights up. Medical magnets work similar. You place a medical magnet on your body or place your body on a medical magnet, and there is a transfer of energy. When we metabolize food, the end product in the process is energy. In other words, the body manufactures energy. This energy heals our injuries. It causes our skin to look healthy. It allows us to move. The energy makes our brain think and send signals to different parts of our body. Like I said, this very same energy our body manufactures is what the medical magnets emit. How do we know? Let's answer this question by going back to third grade science, or at least third grade science when I was in third grade. All energy leaves the source traveling in circles or swirls. If the circles spin clockwise, we call it positive energy. Clockwise spinning energy is emitted from the south pole of the Earth and the south pole of medical magnets. On the other hand, if the energy spins counterclockwise, we call it negative energy. Counterclockwise energy is emitted from the north pole of the Earth. The speed at which this energy spins is called frequency. The size of the spin is called power. The distance at which it will travel before it dissipates is called penetration. 40 years ago, in the private lab in northern Florida, a scientist named Roy Albert Davis discovered the difference between North Pole energy and South Pole energy. It happened quite by accident. They forgot a box of fishing worms on the lab bench. While they were working, they noticed the worms had eaten their way through the cardboard box and had escaped onto the lab bench. They searched for the reason and found the south pole of a big bar magnet resting up against that box. This gave them the idea to set up an experiment with 3 boxes of worms exposed to the north pole of a magnet, the south pole of a magnet, and exposed to no magnets. After 11 days, the worms in the box exposed to no magnetic energies were unchanged. The worms in the box exposed to North Pole energy were inactive and thin. But the worms exposed to the South Pole energies were bigger. There were new babies born. They were energized, and even though the new box was heavier cardboard, they had eaten their way through it. This triggered many other experiments in which is documented in several books and papers that Dr. Davis authored. In my opinion, this was the breakthrough of the century because they went on to discover that the North Pole energies raise the pH levels of the body and thus kill invading microorganisms, whenever the invaders be virus, bacteria, fungus, molds, or whatever. Getting back to what Dr. Davis discovered with the worms, the North Pole relaxes, soothes the nerves, relieves pain, raises a low pH to a normal pH of 7.2 to kill bacteria. Why? Because invading microorganisms cannot live in a normal pH. They must have an acid environment before they can reproduce and thrive and make you sick. So it is very simple. If you don't want to get sick, keep your pH normal. The easiest way to do that is to sleep on one of Lyon Gold and Silver's mattress pads. All you have to do is go to bed. The South Pole does exactly the opposite. It stimulates, energizes, excites the nerves, and can cause pain to increase. Unfortunately, you will also energize invading microorganisms and cancer. So keep it away from the infections and cancer. You don't have to worry about this with our all-north products. This counterclockwise spinning energy in a parameter of frequency slightly different in each place in the body within a range of strength is what the body manufactures. When you place the North Pole on the body or place the body on the North Pole, you increase the body's energy. Using properly designed medical magnets bypasses all the different processes of food being turned into energy. In fact, the human body gets approximately 30% of its energy from sources other than food. Where does it come from? It comes directly from the earth. There are some animals that get as much as 90% of their energy from the natural energies of the earth. I can think of 2 right offhand, sharks and roaches. That is why it is so hard to kill roaches. It is not possible to starve them. So let's backtrack just a little bit to make sure I'm communicating. The energies our bodies make in order for us to carry on life, the energies coming from the earth, and the energy emitted from properly designed medical magnets are the same. What does this mean? If you are not sick and have no long-term medical problems, it means you will realize more physical energy. If you are sick and you do have long-term medical problems, it could mean that this boost in the energy will give your body the ability to fight it off and heal itself. In fact, right before my eyes, this very thing is happening. This brings a customer in Wisconsin to mind. I won't mention his name because I did not ask his permission. This man had a sore on the bottom of his foot. He had diabetes. Like most people with diabetes, he had poor circulation, and the sore had not healed in over 2 years. He had been in the hospital twice at an expense of over $7,000. The doctors scratched their head because they had tried everything and nothing worked. They were thinking about amputation. I sold his wife a Neomax Gold. This is a medical magnet at the top of the power range, while still at the same time being within a safe range. The man's wife taped the North Pole directly over that sore to sleep with it in place at night. The very first night they knew something was happening when the bed was soaked from the sore draining. She taped it in place the next night. The next morning it seemed to be less tender and less red. Anyway, this 2-year-old sore that everyone said would never heal and that they would have to cut away was healed. In 1 week, without side effects, without killing good body cells along with the bad. In 1 week, it was healed.
This is Jackie again. Many of you have listened to our shows on shortwave, some as long as 25 years. In case you haven't heard, Lou passed away in 2004. Since that time, the family continued to operate Lyon Legacy. Magnetic therapy has not changed. It is the same 25 years ago as it is now. What has changed is studies that verify everything Lou said. What else has changed? Our level of certainty that magnets work. If you'd like more information, call us at 800-778-5731, or if you're calling on a cell phone or international, 608-526-2178. Our website is www.lyonlegacy.com. Our address is Lyon Legacy International, Post Office Box 248, Holmen, that's Holmen, Wisconsin, 54636 in the United States. All that information again is 800-778-5731. International or cell phone calls 608-526-2178. Our website is lyonlegacy.com. Our address is Post Office Box 248, Holmen, Wisconsin, 54636. This is Jackie Lyon, and this is the Lyon Legacy Health Hour. 18 years ago, Lou and I started this company. We noticed so many God